Everybody. Another thing to mention is that we have a little chat that goes on during the Valor Town Hall. If you look to the right of your screen, there's a little chat bubble, and you can hit that and chat during the town hall.
Perfect. Are we really saying that chicken Alfredo is a comfort food? Is that comfort food?
Yeah.
I feel like we got to eat something like thick. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe just
Oh,
me.
you can have really thick noodles
Somebody quote that, please.
and big pieces of chicken, lots of sauce.
Fair
Alfredo
enough.
is
Fair enough.
hearty.
So apparently, I'm wrong. Apparently, I am wrong here. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. Pitt is under control today, so he's under center. This may go horribly wrong, and if it does, we blame him.
That's crazy.
Making making my Alfredo with thin sauce. I've been exposed. It's true. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever made chicken Alfredo. We eat red sauce in this household. Thank you. Hashtag skinny ass Alfredo. All right. Sorry, Pitt. What were you? What was your defense?
Nothing. Let's get into this.
Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the Valor Community Town Hall for the month of November. I can't believe it's November already. So, for those that are new, I do see a few new faces out there. The town hall is just a time where we get together as a community. We share any updates, anything that's changing or ongoing in the community that we want to discuss. We review your feedback and then go from there. This time around, it's a lot of War Within recap and then moving into our plans for Midnight. A lot of those plans are not ironed out yet, but we do want to go through them with you of what we're looking into and what we're going to be working on, because we did learn a lot from the War Within. It was definitely our biggest season or our biggest expansion for Valor. We saw insane growth. I think at one point in time we had over 467 active applications to join the guild, which is insane. I think this year alone, just in 2025, was over 1,800 total applications, which again is insanity. At the end of this town hall, we are going to be doing a giveaway. So for everyone who is in the town hall, when we get to the final slide, you will be eligible to receive a free Valor mug. I just ordered mine, so I'm pretty hype about it. All right, we'll go on to the next slide. As always, our vision and values can be found on our website. So if you want to take a look at those, if somebody can link the main website, that would be great. They are just on the About Us page. We'll go to the next slide. All right, we'll have the executive team introduce themselves. I'll go through myself and Milk. So myself, I'm Prophet, the CEO. I handle pretty much all the day-to-day. Everyone at the end of the day reports to me, and I work with them to make all the day-to-day decisions for how we're progressing as a business and how we're progressing as a community and a guild. And then we have Milk, who handles a lot of our finances. He's our CFO. He makes sure that we're paying the government and not overspending, and make sure we're not going to jail, which is really nice and catastrophic.
Yeah, I'm the COO. I work really closely with Profit and Milk specifically. A lot of the behind-the-scenes business aspects of Valor. So yeah, working with Milk on the business side, the finances, the legality, all that stuff, and then working with Profit on the vision of Valor. Jet.
Thank you, Kat. Hi, everybody. I'm Jet. I'm the creative director here at Valor Gaming. I also am the one in charge, the lead, I guess you could say, of the Valor stream team. I'm also the one who helps shape the vision of all of the content that we put out there, making sure that everything feels fresh, fun, true to who we are as a community. And with my background, for those who don't know me, I'm Jet. I have a background in broadcasting. I've done some voice work, television production. So I have a little bit of experience in this field, although I am new to the world of gaming. in that field specifically. I've been a gamer since I was a child, but anyways. So you may have noticed I've not been around much lately, but things are starting to look up. I even started to stream again, and so I hope everyone's doing great, and I look forward to getting to know all of you and gaming together. So thank you so much for being here at today's town hall and in Valor. Fel?
Thank you, Jet. Hi, everyone. I'm Fel. I'm the esports director for Valor. My main roles constitute just being the main point of contact for all of our raid teams and the raid leads. I help manage the Mythic Plus teams and the PvP teams, just making sure all aspects of our competitive environments have a point of contact to get all the resources they need, any help they need to be able to make sure their teams are running as smooth as possible. And I'm always available if anyone needs help or has any questions for where they could fit into any of the raid teams, Mythic Plus teams, and our PvP teams. Prophet, back to you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide. I'm going to introduce our overall leadership team. So we have Pitt, our VP of Operations. He handles pretty much babysitting me, to be honest, the majority of the day, making sure I'm not missing anything, or anytime I need to bounce ideas around, reel at somebody, Pitt's always there for me. We have Hona, who handles a lot of our partnership management. We have Sparks, our HR officer, handles a lot of she's just a great resource to be able to discuss anything that's going on in the community if you want any anonymous kind of conversation. Recon, who's our digital media lead, he handles a lot of the video editing and photo editing. We have Dank, who is also handling some of the video editing and moving forward some of the social media videos that you're going to be seeing. We have Sick, our community manager. And we're going to briefly go over this a few times throughout this town hall, but we no longer have moderators. I fired every single one of them. They are now going to be called the Community Council. And again, we'll get into what that means in a later slide. We have Jackie, who is our Community Council lead. And then on that council, we have Nomi, Lieutenant Dan, and Venom. Again, they're going to handle a lot of the community day-to-day interaction. And again, we'll get into what that actually means in a later slide. We have Blind, who's our Mythic Plus teams manager, and Jekyll, who's our PvP teams manager. We have Mew, who's new to returning to leadership. He's going to be one of our esports analysts. He's going to help Fel and myself with a lot of esports data and stat tracking so that we can report that back to our various partners and sponsors to continue to progress Valor forward. And we have Ty and Helix, who are GMs of our Elder Scrolls Online division and our Fellowship division. And then on the left-hand side there, you'll see a variety of open roles. If you're interested in helping out in any aspect of leadership, even if you don't see anything there, or if you just have questions on what one of those roles means, please open up a currently called moderator ticket, but will be changing soon, by going to the server guide and clicking contact a mod. And we'll answer those questions for you. We'll go to the next slide. All right, I'm going to bring Sick in to talk about some of the ongoing community updates.
Okie dokie. Go to the next slide. All right, folks and friends and family and Valorarians. So again, welcome all to the new people that joined the community, and this being your first town hall. We're, of course, excited to have you here as we continue to grow exponentially every season, every year. If you have not been aware of such, we have been partnering with amazing brands to bring, discounts. So you've probably seen some of the few games of days past. So us having this community as it is, we've been able to get these type of rewards like giveaways, partnerships, what have you. As Prophet briefly touched upon, we are rebranding, if you will, the moderators, and there'll be more closure of that and talking about that in a later slide. But if you ever do need assistance and want to reach out to a community council member, like Prophet said, if you go on top of the server guide, it does say contact a moderator for now. That will be changing to council. And again, feel free to reach out to myself or the council team anytime, and we'll gladly either help you directly or get you to the people that can help you, be it game mechanics or even issues that may be happening within the community. That's why we're here. That's here to make sure everything's flowing smoothly. As mentioned, the Discord server guide is all the way on the top. That's where you can find a lot of quick access to our rules and regulations, guidelines, contacts for the specific departments for each leadership role, esports, human resources, content, team applications, and what have you. Same with the applying for the raid teams. That can be found in the server guide as well, top of the Discord. So that will also have a list of our current teams, be it Mythic, Raid, or PvP. So that will give you a brief rundown of their times, what they're looking for. If I'm not mistaken, most of those will bring you to their Guilds of WoW page, where you can get a little bit more info from there as well. And again, feel free to apply in that ticket where it says apply to team, because an officer of that area, be it Mythic or Raid, will gladly assist you in terms of, any questions you may have, or, finding an area that you may fit in with our teams, because we have various teams. Community event signups, you're going to see that in the guild signup section, which is a little bit further down on our Discord. Any type of community key or community raid or any other in-game events that we form for the community, example, transmog runs, any other events that we may have coming soon, you'll find that there. And I strongly advise that you do sign up. I'd rather you sign up and maybe DM me later and say, hey, I can't make it. So that way we can kind of better gear up those events and say, hey, we may need XYZ because we didn't have it sign up. And as always, if you're not aware, we have our official Valor website where we have our past spotlight articles, past news articles. It's really some cool information in there, in addition to our Valor shop. And honestly, it's a really well put together website. So I highly recommend checking it out. And you can go to the next slide, Pitt, please. This is back to Profit.
All right, let's dive into the community council. So again, we're going to be renaming and kind of envisioning what the moderator role looks like. Moving forward, they'll be considered the community council. So the purpose of this is to have a team that is dedicated specifically to community feedback. So how our plan for this is moving forward is they'll do the traditional mod duties where they're monitoring Discord, monitoring the different chats, helping out with guild invites and different tickets, that type of thing. But there's going to be a form that you as community members will be able to access, and you can provide various different feedback inside of that form, whether it's about our teams, something in the Discord, something you want to change, something you think, maybe we should add or remove or revisit, anything at all. That community council will meet once per month as a council. They'll review that feedback and they'll vote on which aspects we're going to review first. So obviously, if there's like 10 different topics, we can't cover all 10. We do have stuff going on outside of Valor. Most of us work. So they'll review that. They'll put it to a vote. Then they'll discuss that change. They'll present that in a overall leadership meeting to the rest of us as leadership, and we'll work on it towards there. So again, the goal for this is any issues, any feedback, any suggestions, you go to your community council, they meet, they review, they bring that to the attention of the rest of the leadership. They're a resource for the community. That's the goal. So responsibilities, kind of just went through those as well. And then how to apply. So must be a member of the community for 90 days. This is important just so that you get the overall vibe and culture of what Valor is in our community. I think people coming in and just jumping right in, which wanting to help is super appreciated. But again, I think it's important that you get the overall vibe of the community and people get to know you. And then you must be 18 or older. And then you can apply via the server guide by selecting join the council. That's not up yet, but it will be within the next couple of weeks. We'll make an announcement when that's available. All right, we'll go to the next the next slide and back to Sick.
And hi, I'm back again. I'm sure some of y'all saw, but if not, here's a nice little reminder. And I'll, again, probably once a week, I'll be reminding. But as most of y'all are aware, we are kind of in the holiday bracket of the season. So with that, we are bringing back our contest. We ran it last year as well, and we had some great dishes submitted. So what we're looking for is either a dish that you yourself made, a family member made, or maybe you even helped. It could be friends, family, or, a gathering of friends. but you will see an area to submit that. And if someone could link that in chat, that'd be wonderful. It's under our contest section in the holiday feast category. And honestly, all you have to do is submit. And then if you're familiar with some past contests, at the end of the poll, at the end of the submission time, there'll be a straw poll for it. And then the community will vote on their favorite dishes. And then the prizes will be a Valor cooking apron. Second place will be a Valor coffee mug rather. And then third place will be a WoW token at its current value. So again, it could be anything. We had some wonderful submissions last year, and the only downside is I end up getting hungry. So it's a win-win for everybody. And if you can go to the
Bonus
next slide-
points if you cook something. Bonus points if you cook something from the World of Warcraft cookbook.
Oh yes, or Old Bay. You can go to the next slide, please. All right, and giveaways. I alluded to this a couple times in the last couple of days. We are going to do a giveaway for this month. It is going to be your very own Valor hoodie. That will be going live momentarily once this community town hall is over. I will make a post about it in Discord. That one will be found in the giveaway section, which if someone could link that too, even though it's not there yet, but it's going to go live probably within the hour as soon as we're done here. As simple as going in there, clicking the participate, and then at the end of the month, it will randomly pick a submission, and then we'll get in touch and we'll get you a hoodie. Perfect for this time of colder weather. And if you can go to the next slide, please. Meetups. Few of those coming up. So again, sometimes holidays, sometimes people travel, sometimes not. So we wanted to create an opportunity for folks to have somewhere to hang out. So on Valor Friendsgiving, which is on the 27th, we'll kind of have various panels just hanging out. It could be playing Arc Raiders, which is kind of the fun game everyone's playing now, or Fellowship, Minecraft. Come hang out, spend some time with the community. So that way we can just, kind of hang out and chill and have a fun time with each other. And then another big event is on December 19th, which is Valor Day 2025, which we will be hanging out in Discord. Same thing, causing some form of shenanigans here and there with various games and just kind of enjoying each other's community, essentially hanging out, getting to know one another. Because again, the community yourself is what caused us to be here now. Many years now, we just keep growing and growing. Then we have PAX East 2026, which is on the March 26th of 2026, which will be in Boston, Massachusetts. We also have a meetup channel for that, if someone could link that. I believe there's a few people going this year coming up. I don't recall the exact amount, so forgive me. But that's a good place to kind of sync up with, like, hey, so-and-so is going there. I'm going there, possibly meet up, and hang out. And then the big one, finally, BlizzCon 2026, which we also have a meetup channel for, which I'm sure someone will link. We have a good chunk of people going to this one coming up in September of 2026. Same thing, if you're going, feel free to hang out in there in that channel. You can possibly see what we're doing, because I'm sure we're going to have a multitude of meetups there, and just have a good time and actually see each other face to face and possibly chase me out of the room. And you can go to the next slide, please. All right, this is a little bit of a new addition to the town hall. We're going to be kind of showcasing the month of events outside of the This Week in Valor that we do every week. So here's some noteworthy things that are coming up. If you're not aware, we have a pretty big one coming up in a week or two, which is the patch 11.2.7, which will be the introduction. I mean, there's other parts of it, but everyone seems to be focusing on Guild Neighborhood. And that will be touched on in a later slide, but we will be having that implemented, I believe, as soon as the server is live. And then in the following weeks, we have our monthly Guild Night and Chill, our community game night, rather, which is on the 19th. This week's Guild Night and Chill, community game night and chill, rather, was a blast. I want to say we had a dozen people in there, good times playing Gartic Phone. Very likely that's what we'll be doing again this coming time. And even if you don't participate in terms of playing, it's a great way just to hang out and hear us kind of rabble back and forth. And then the last week of the month, we have our next December town hall, which will be closing out the year. And then even more of these items that we've been talking on. We'll have a little bit more exposure of or unveiling to the community of where we're at with them, because we have plenty of projects going on. And then again, we had the Feast of Winter Veil, which is your chance to get some free in-game items I believe usually each main city has like a tree there. You can open up presents the day of, if not the next day, and you get free items and loot and what have you. And then the contest, which I mentioned, and giveaway will be ending the 31st of that month. Not the giveaway that we're doing today's town hall, but the giveaway for the other item, which I dismissed. But yes, that's soon. Sorry, I had a brain fart there, so ignore me. Then you can go to the next slide, please.
All right, we'll jump back in, talk about some World of Warcraft. If we can go to the next slide. Fel, did you want to go over guild updates?
Yeah, I can do that. So for any and all up to date, any new information, any post that we make, you can always head over to the guild signups channel in Discord, and you'll find any community events that we're hosting that you can sign up through there. This will be raids, in-game events, guild bank access, stuff like that's all going to be posted throughout that channel. Community raid nights, like I said, are every Saturday, so you can sign up for the raids there. Community keys are also hosted on Saturdays in the afternoon. Those are also posted in that channel, and we will be having community PvP night returning. Those will be, if I remember correctly, on Sundays. Will be posting those signups as well. That's something we've been really wanting to bring back, and we've just been very, very slow about it, unfortunately. So I do apologize for that. I know a lot of people like doing PvP or want to get into PvP, and this will be a great time. If you have any questions on PvP, you are always free to reach out to myself or Jekyll, who is our PvP lead. For guild stats, you can... Oh,
go ahead. You can do that part.
Yeah, so on the left-hand side, you can see our guild stats. The main guild is currently sitting at full capacity, and that's generally about where we hang out at about 999 members. If you are looking for a guild invite, please still feel free to message us. We will make room in the guild for your alts. Remember, we do have a cap of 3 alts in the guild for everybody. Valor 2 is also a great place if you want to house your alts. We have plenty of space there. As you can see, we have 589 unique accounts in the main guild currently. That's probably more than most guilds have. Top item level currently for the guild is Sango. Highest M+ rating, Hex. Highest PvP rating. Oh, I cannot see that name. Rabbity. There we go.
There you go.
I had to zoom in. Achievements leader, Lucky's Mage. I want to make a comment about Lucky's Mage. I don't think in the last year and a half, Lucky has lost that title.
No.
They get every achievement. It's really awesome to see. Currently, for world rank for rating, we are sitting at 979, region rank 331, and realm 11th. And even on Thrall, as big of a server as it is, rank 11 is very, very awesome to see. And I'll cover more of that later.
Yeah, real quick, a note on that world ranking. So we're a top 1,000 guild right now. That's out of over 17,000 guilds that have stepped into a raid this season. We looked at the stats yesterday. It's crazy. So huge work to everybody. Blue, locking that in for us with that CE kill this week. Fantastic. And yes, there is still a bounty on Lucky's Mage. If you can get higher achievement points than him by the time midnight comes out, there's a lump sum of gold. I think it was like 250k, so we'll up it to 350k. How many does he have? If somebody can look that up while we go to the next slide. I think it's on the guild report if somebody wants to grab that. All right, we'll jump into the neighborhood information. Again, this is all subject to change. We're just basing this information off of what's available. The beta Fel and I went into and played a little bit of, so we have a general understanding of how the neighborhoods are going to work. But we all know Blizzard may change some things before midnight releases. So Valor 1 will be utilizing the Alliance-themed neighborhood, and Valor 2 will be utilizing the Horde-themed. It does not matter which faction you are. You can join either one, but we know some of you will prefer the Horde-themed one versus the Alliance, so we do have that as an option. Each guild neighborhood can support up to 1,000 plots. So if we had 1,000 unique individual players in the guild, all of them would have a spot. However, it's 50 per instance. They're calling their instances subdivisions. So what we were hoping for is you could just pick whatever subdivision you are that you wanted, so that if you wanted to be with your friends on a specific one or something like that, but it doesn't seem that it's going to work that way. How it works, at least as far as Fel and I could tell in the beta, is once the first 50 are full, it just spawns a new subdivision and everybody else can go into those. There may be a way to switch back and forth between them as far as building after that. We're not sure because we don't have 50 people on the beta. So as soon as we have that information, we'll make sure it's known. At this time, we're not able to reserve slots. I know there's programs and websites out there that'll allow you to reserve slots based on your guild, but we have no way of upholding that or forcing that in game. At least in the beta, again, there's no way for us to move people out of a slot if somebody else had reserved it. So we're not sure how we're going to do that or if we're going to do that at this time. And again, please note that when housing is out, all decor must follow community standards. Whatever you do inside your homes, for the most part, is up to you. But outside, there will be some expectations of what we're the type of designs we're going to allow and not. The Valor HOA is real, to an extent. I'm not talking about like you can build whatever you want, but if it's not following community guidelines and rules, we may ask you to remove it. All right. We will move to the next slide. All right, going over guild bank and crafting. So the guild bank for midnight prep, by all means, jump in there, take a look around. If there's anything you want, grab it. If there's something in there that you don't have access to in the first few tabs, just let us know. But mostly everything is going to be available except for the last 2 or 3 tabs that are for the competitive teams. That stuff will be selling off for gold for the following expansion. So crafting team, moving forward. So with the introduction of the crafting team, we did see a major gold savings. Pitt, Fel, and myself are still looking through the data to see and to compare it with previous seasons. We know it's going to be consistently higher, considerably higher, just based on the amount of BOEs that were donated from all of the teams, which again, huge shout out to all of the raid teams for the amount of BOEs that you guys received this season and donated. It allowed us to float this season. We didn't have to buy any tokens. We didn't have to do anything crazy for gold. I didn't have to send Fel out to dance in the street or head over to Moonguard or anything. It was great. But we are still going through that data of what we spent versus how much we took in per team. We have a lot of that data to track and gather together. So once we have all of that out, we'll review it and then we'll come up with our plan for moving forward. Because we do want to revisit the BOE donation system, which we'll talk about a little bit later, just because we do want the teams to be getting something out of it, but we also want to make sure that the guild isn't hemorrhaging gold. So that's something that's a work in progress. I think it'll always be a work in progress, at least for the next couple of seasons while we figure out the different data, because every season's going to be a little bit different. But we'll go to the next slide, please. Pitt, did you want to talk a little bit about Valor Academy?
Yeah, I can talk about it.
Please,
So,
thank you.
as most of you should know, we have our Valor Academy. It's set up basically to be a resource for anybody if they need help in game or learning a new system. You can put in a ticket and we'll get somebody to sit with you and work it out. Moving into midnight, we want to kind of reimagine how we're doing Academy. We recently just had kind of one lead and it became too much for one person to basically handle. So we're kind of separating the role into 3 separate lead roles. One of those being our Academy guide, which will be Jackie. Basically, she will be responsible for those Academy tips that you can see in the Academy section. If we can get that linked in there. If you don't see the Academy section, you can go up to channels and roles and give yourself the Academy role. Oh yeah, it's also Jackie's birthday, so everybody say happy birthday to her. Um,
Happy birthday.
helping out Jackie, we have two other positions: our academy professor and our academy captain. Our professor role is going to be more of our classroom learning role. They would be responsible for our quarterly workshops, which would be a presentation style like this town hall is. And basically, they would go in depth into some of the new systems. So, coming up before midnight, we have a intro to midnight healing workshop that's being developed right now, since they're making so many big changes to how healing's going to work in midnight. We are going to deep dive on that, so you'll hear more information about that soon. But basically, the professor would be in charge of those. And then we have our academy captain role, which is going to spearhead our learning side of things. So our Valor Bronze team, which is designed to be for new and returning players trying to get back into raiding or learning how to raid. The captain would be the raid lead for that, as well as helping to run community keys so that they could teach people how keys work and the different weekly changes to that. So if anybody's interested in any of those, feel free to put in a ticket and we can talk to you there about it. And also, if anybody thinks that they are the best at their class and they want to share all their knowledge, we're always looking for mentors to help out the academy team to answer tickets as they come in. So feel free to put in a mod ticket for that as well, and we can talk to you. And that's pretty much
Perfect.
it for academy.
Thank you, Pitt. We'll go to the next slide. All right, just a general overview of the current Warcraft roadmap. So obviously we are coming up on patch 11.27. So new story, new quests, new content systems, and housing. So join us for housing. I think it's December 2nd. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's what it was.
Correct.
So December 2nd, housing will be out. We'll get the neighborhood up as soon as we're able to log into the servers. I fully expect them to be down the majority of the day, as well as I'm sure there will be a little bit of latency. But once we're able, we'll get in there, we'll get it created, and we'll get you guys building your houses. Okay, go to the next slide. Again, just a reminder, BlizzCon is coming up. For those who got their tickets, we'd love to know if you already got your tickets. Please make sure you join that meetups channel and let us know that you're going to be there, because we may have some goodies that we need to plan for. And more about that in an upcoming town hall at some point in time. All right, we'll go to the next slide. I'm going to bring Fel in. He's going to go over esports.
Thank you, Prophet. Thank you, guys. We'll go to the next slide, and we'll hop into raid teams. On the left-hand side, you can see all of our raid team schedules, what days and what times they raid. Everything is in Eastern time. So we have in the middle, you can see the chart that we have for all the team's current progress. Blue has hit their CE goal for the season. Ravens is working on getting NK down and going to be hopefully getting to Dementius before the season ends. Beyond has gotten to 6 out of 8 Mythic, alongside Prism as well, being 6 out of 8 Mythic. Insight just locked in 5 out of 8 last night, so big congratulations to them. Horizon and Bronze have also both hit their goals. As you can see, Bronze is looking for a captain and co-captain at the moment, so if you are interested, please reach out to us, and we would love to chat with you. To go over a little bit from a previous slide of our rankings. As you guys saw, world ranking, we're top 1,000. Region, we're 331. In realm, we were 11th. I just wanted to make a quick note for everybody. Last season, when Valor achieved its first CE, we ranked world 1306, region 496, and realm 19th. So you could see that we had a very big jump in progress. So it's really nice to see all of our teams, really pushing for our rankings to help Valor really grow and start hitting those major milestones. So thank you to all of our raid teams for all the work that they put in for us. We can go to the next slide. For Mythic Plus, you guys can see our listed Mythic Plus teams and our PvP teams, a lot of their goals and their progress, and a lot of open teams that are looking for captains and for players as well. If you are interested in starting a Mythic Plus team or joining a Mythic Plus team, you can head over to the server guide and apply to a team, and it will have you apply through Guilds of WoW via the link, and we will make sure we get to chat with you and get you in touch with one of our Mythic Plus team captains if there is availability. And then next slide, please.
All
Profit.
right, I can jump in here. So, as most of you know, we've hosted for the last 2 seasons the Pet Battle North American and World Finals. This season, I'm happy to share that we'll be streaming those again, as well as the EU Finals. So that'll be coming up in January. We're just locking in those dates, and once we have those, we'll get those scheduled out. Last year, we raised just over $1,000 for charity. This time around, we're going to be doing the exact same thing in support of stackup.org. If you don't know who they are, we try to help them out as much as we can, and we've good friends with them over the last several years. They've been fantastic to work with, and we're excited to work with them again. And that is pretty much the basics for the pet battle. So fortunately, last year and this year, we're going to be, or sorry, last season and this season, we're going to be partnering up with Raider.io, Warcraft Pets, Icy Veins, and Zufu's Pet Guides, as well as some other creators coming up soon. And once we have that information, we'll go ahead and get that shared out. The format stays the same as it was last season, where it's a best of 3 in each fight, leading up to the World Finals, where it's a best of 5. We'll go to the next slide. And we'll bring Jet in to discuss content.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the town hall. For anybody who came in a little bit late, I'm Jet. I'm the creative director here at VALOR Gaming. And if it could go to the next slide, please, I'll be going over the content section. All right, so we do have a social media presence. So if you hit /socials, I believe. Yeah, so in our chat, / or /socials, it has all of our links there. We have an X account, we have a TikTok account, we have a Twitch account, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube. We are on all of those platforms. We also have our gaming groups in Battle.net and Steam. So please check those out. Drop us a follow. Every little bit helps. Every like, every comment, every sub, every share really means a lot to us. So thank you for those who have supported us up to this point. So yeah, follow along, stay connected, celebrate the stuff that VALOR does, the VALOR community does, and share the adventure with the Warcraft community online. We also have Who Wants to Be a Goblinaire? This is our show that we have that is sort of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Imagine. And it is all World of Warcraft themed style trivia. So that is ongoing. Our last episode, as you can see in the chat, Prophet just dropped it. It is featuring the lovely Laria. So the Pet Masters League, as Prophet mentioned earlier, is the new name of the Pet Battle tournament. So we do host the competitive Pet Battle series where the collectors, strategists, and battlers go head to head using their strongest World of Warcraft pets. Again, that will be in January and the date is to be determined. Again, that is supported by Icy Veins and Raider.io. We also have community spotlights on our website if you want to check that out. It is right on the landing page. You can just click any of our community spotlights, and then we have tags in there so that you can find more spotlights as well. And yeah, I love the community spotlight series. As you can see, we did just a brief one at the beginning of this town hall. And we just love highlighting people in our community that are really making a difference in game and out of game. Go to the next slide, please. So we do have a Valor stream team. I am the lead of the stream team. As you can see on the left-hand side there, that is our entirety of our stream team. From top to bottom, you give them a read. We'll be reading them out. But we do have benefits and requirements for the stream team tiers. As you can see on the slide, we have tier 1 and tier 2. We don't have a current requirement for tier 2 streamers, but we do provide plenty of benefits for those streamers who are just starting out or maybe getting back into streaming. We'd love to take a look at your content and see if it aligns with our overall vision that we have here at Valor. Okay, if you want to go to the next slide, please. All right, Valor support. Sorry, catastrophic. Go ahead. Thanks, everybody.
Go ahead and go to the next slide. Yeah, so we partner with various organizations. We've talked about quite a few of them already today, but you can see a big list of them on the screen in front of you. We do this for various reasons. Some of them give us discount codes for y'all to use, which is great, or products in giveaways, things like that. Other things like Arma is our official jersey sponsor. Obviously, Guilds of WoW is just an incredible resource for the game we all love to play. So lots of different reasons for various partnerships, but ultimately the goal with these is to enhance the Valor community experience in one way or another. So through that, we've also supported quite a few charitable causes. Prophet mentioned Stack Up quite a bit. We work with them multiple times and multiple ways throughout the year. We've also worked with Dungeon Dojo, Make-A-Wish. The most recent Pet Masters League supported Pause Your Games. And through our Pride merch on the website, we donate all profits to the Trevor Project through that. So lots of giving back as well. It's something that's very important to us. So yeah, we can go to the next slide. As for supporting Valor financially, the best way to do that, if that's something you're interested in, would be through the Discord sub at the server shop at the top of the Discord channel list there. You can see the benefits on screen there. You get a little supporter channel access as well. All the funds from the Discord supporters goes right back into making improvements for Valor, whether that's, you know, continued Discord updates or website maintenance, giveaways, events, things of that nature. So all the money is going right back into growing Valor and improving Valor. So thank you for everyone who is a supporter. It means a lot and it helps kind of drive what we're doing here. So thank you for that. We can go to the next slide. Another way to support Valor financially, but maybe get a physical item, is through buying our merch. We have two shops. You can find both of them on shop.vlrgaming.com. There's one link to our Arma site, which I mentioned has our jerseys. There's also sweatshirts, leggings, jackets, things like that as well on the Arma site with our official design. And then the other site is our main site right there, which has a lot more of our just base merch, t-shirts, apparel, accessories, stickers, things of that nature. That one's constantly being updated with new products, new designs, and we're kind of learning more and more about revamping and building that site to be more customized to what we want it to look like. So keep an eye out on that. I think y'all mentioned the team stickers. So the idea there is to build out a lot more team focused product and add those to those sections there as well. If you guys have any recommendations, thoughts, ideas, wish lists, go ahead and put that in the suggestions channel. I can't promise that we'll be able to add everything, but we definitely take a look at all of the suggestions, and if it's something that we're able to do, we'll get that added. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. 'Tis the season for consumerism. Right now, Arma's site is live with their Black Friday sale. Use code BLACK at checkout for 30% off all merch. So you do have to enter the code there. But on our shop.VLR gaming site, it'll just be an auto 20% off everything from the 24th through the 1st. So that kind of covers all of next week through Cyber Monday. And you just auto get that discount. There's nothing you got to do there. I'm not sure. I tried to find it. I'm not sure how long Arma's discount goes. So probably get on that sooner rather than later. Also, for everyone going to BlizzCon, we recommend getting your jerseys sooner rather than later if that's something you plan on doing. But no later than early June, just because there is a production time and a shipping time. And honestly, using that 30% off right now, probably your best bet. So if that's something you're interested in, there's been no better time than now. That is it for merch. We can go to the next slide. Throw it back to Profit.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll go to the next slide. So just kind of taking a look at what's next. So I had alluded earlier, or said earlier, that we've learned a lot of lessons in the War Within. It was our biggest season of, or sorry, our biggest expansion of growth. And we, so despite Fel having heart attacks every week, we've extended to over 7, or at least 7 raid teams now. I can't even keep track. That's how many we have. And with that came a lot of growing pains. And so we're definitely aware of that. And there's going to be a lot of things that we're taking a look at over the next couple of months, but we really need your feedback. So if somebody could please link the community survey. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Community survey in the chat so that we can get that out. We really want your feedback. Good, bad, indifferent. We need it all. Something that we are very, I guess, passionate about here is reviewing that feedback. None of it gets ignored. We will look at every single one of it. Yeah, exactly. The Bengals got me all flustered because they just scored. So a couple of things that we've learned. Culture and environment. So over time, we've noticed that this isn't a bad thing. This is actually a really good thing. We just need to come up with some systems to work around it. But a lot of our teams have shifted into a higher competitive mindset. Again, very good. Our teams are doing great. There's nothing bad to say about that. It's just the focus has shifted from performance, where it used to be a little bit more casual on some of those teams. So that's something we're looking into. We're going to be meeting with the raid leads to kind of come up with some ideas around that so that we can ensure that we still have that entry to mythic level rating. Our goal is to strike that balance, maintaining high standards while keeping Valor a welcoming, place for all and supporting all skill levels. Again, multiple raid teams, we were just talking about that. So this expansion, we grew to 7 raid teams, which brought a lot of learning curves along the way. We've been refining how to set clear seasonal goals and expectations and improving communication across all teams and addressing player movement between rosters. So we know some of you want to raid with your friends or you want to switch to a different team because the time works better, things along that nature. We don't want to prevent that necessarily, but there needs to be a balance of like when rosters are locked. And the reason for that is we don't want our teams to constantly have to be battling roster issues. So there's some things that we need to work out there. And as we continue to grow, we're working on fair and transparent system that allows players to move up to other teams or join different teams without disrupting existing team progression or raid stability. Again, our goal is to support player development while maintaining strong, consistent raid environments for everyone. So that's something that Fel and Pitt and myself are going to be taking a look at. listening to all the feedback of the raid councils, the raiders, and the raid leads. Like I said, I'm just going to repeat it again. There's just a lot of feedback that we have to go through and come up with systems that work for everybody. So Mythic team management. So this season, I think we had what fell 15 to 20 Mythic Plus teams the first half of the season,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. But a lot of those kind of teetered off towards the middle of the season just for various different reasons. Players getting burnt out or just not wanting to continue to play. And there were some issues there. So something that Fel and I are going to sit down and work on is making sure that we're putting the right people in charge of those teams and team leaders and setting expectations of how those teams are to be structured moving forward and ensure communication across the board. Crafting team organization. This was our first season ever doing this. There was no book for us to really review this by. It's just something that we thought might be a good idea. We kind of put together how we thought it could work over the last season and a half to 2 seasons, and then we launched it this current season that we're in. Again, it worked great, but there's some pain points that we need to review to ensure that the crafting team is beneficial, but we're also supporting the teams like with BOEs and stuff like that. So again, a lot of data to shift through. Once we have more information, we're going to share all of that. It's just a lot to go through with everything else and preparing for the new expansion. So to everybody that submitted feedback, we hear you. We understand. Almost 99% of it we agree with. There's just some issues don't have a clear fix without creating additional problems. And so we just want to get ahead of that. So by all means, if you have feedback, ideas, please share that information. And we'll go to the last slide, question mark. Oh, second to last slide. So something we're going to do moving forward is just kind of an overall roadmap of what we're currently working on month to month in these town halls so that you guys know what to expect. It'll also help us as leaders know what we need to focus on for that particular month, just because we have so much going on. So for December, we're going to launch the community council, which we shared earlier. Obviously, the guild neighborhood is going to be launched. And then I put a thing in here for the new town hall format. So this will be the last town hall that we do in Discord. Moving forward, we're going to live stream those on Twitch. And there's a couple different reasons for that. One, it'll automatically be recorded and available for VOD review. So people that can't attend will have that as an option immediately without us having to go in and do any crazy editing and uploading. The second is that it'll give us the ability to get away from just doing this kind of PowerPoint style presentation. We'll have a lot more freedom for animations and putting videos in, sharing webcams. There's going to be a lot more stuff that we're able to do. So we're going to go ahead and get that started for the next town hall and then moving forward. And then an updated feedback form. We're going to get rid of the feedback channel just because it's not super used, because I think a lot of people may be just intimidated with sharing feedback in a public space, which is completely understandable. So we're going to get rid of that system. We're just going to have a link to a Google form that you can fill out, provide your feedback, and it'll be anonymous if you wish. And then, so for January, we'll be doing improved team tiers. For those of you know about our tier 1, tier 2 system for teams, we're going to be improving that entire system and possibly adding a third tier. We're overhauling of our team logos. The themes aren't changing unless the teams request that, but we are going to be overhauling the actual resolution and making them a higher quality so that we can put them on merch. Most of you have heard me talk about this for the last year, but we are finally ready to start building our Hall of Valor, which is kind of our Hall of Fame, if you will, on our website. So we'll be putting some stuff in there and allowing everybody to nominate who they wish to be added to that. And then for February, it'll be crafting team updates, Mythic Plus team updates, PvP updates, and then team branded merch. And then we don't really have anything planned at the moment for March, but as everybody here in leadership knows, we will find some things that are going to be happening in March. And then April is we'll be revealing our BlizzCon plans for meetups while we're there. Hopefully by April. If shouldn't be any later than that. Just an expansion launch, no big deal. Yeah, exactly. So we got a lot going on and we're doing our best to keep up. We do have a lot of open roles, so we'll be posting those out again. And if anybody is interested in getting involved with leadership, we're happy to talk to you, even if you just have questions. And we'll go to the last slide, which is our kind of wrap up section. So again, please fill out the community survey. Sick, if you want to go ahead and get the giveaway going. So everybody that is here is going to be eligible for that giveaway. Sick, I will send you the screenshot we discussed right now. Anyway, while we're getting that booted up and set up, if anybody has any questions, now's the time to jump in and ask those in chat. Yes, we'll be giving away the Valor coffee mug. Sorry, Fel, you're excluded. Have a nice life. How do we enter? You just have to be here. So
Just by being here.
just by being here. Doesn't matter how
We're just
long you were
collecting
here.
names.
As long as you're here now.